Newly elected Mangaung Mayor Papi Mokoena joins us now to talk about this. A very good evening to you, Mr. Mokoena. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So you accepted being the steward of what you called a collective of 101 people who voted for you as residents of Mangaung, saying that change is coming and it's good. But what do you believe will be your first port of call if you are allowed indeed to continue in this position?
Good evening, Tsepiso, to you and the viewers. Thank you very much. I was saying to one of the councillors today was not a baptismal of fire, but a baptismal of water. A certain portion of Mangaung was without water due to non-payment of an account, apparently with Bloom Water. So I had to scurry around and make some calls to the CEO, the CFO, and we duly agreed that they would open up the taps and give us a week or so to familiarize ourselves with what are the challenges and what the agreement was, and make sure that we come to an amicable resolution to ensure that we fulfill our obligations to the citizens of Mangaung and give them water, which is a basic human right. That is part of the situation in Mangaung, Tsepiso, and I think your intro has highlighted some of the major challenges. I'm just humbled and have accepted the role with humility to be part of the stewardship of Mangaung out of a deep sinking ship to try and get into stable waters with a view to be able to can accelerate and ensure that our people enjoy the rights that they are supposed to enjoy.
You say you've accepted the position. The matter has now and has been part of a High Court process. In fact, the curation of the council meeting, which is said to have been illegal, that chose you, is said to not even stand up to the 50+1 calculation. What is your response to that?
So there were 53 councillors out of 101 in attendance in the meeting. So we fulfilled beyond the 50% plus one, and we corrected as a result to be able to can hold a legitimate and duly called meeting in terms of the standing orders and rules of the council. Those that did not turn up chose not to turn up. However, the business of trying to make sure that we serve the people of Mangaung has to continue and will continue until otherwise determined.
Did they choose not to stand up, or were they legally prevented to do so? I have seen the High Court order, which, to my understanding and those who argue it, says not only was the speaker interdicted, but the 7 expelled ANC members were prevented from taking part in this council meeting, that the council meeting itself was illegitimate.
Tsepiso, up to the time that we set the meeting from 2 o'clock and until it adjourned at about just after 4, there was no indication whatsoever of any interdict that was served on either the speaker or that stopped council. And as a result, council continued as normal. So we don't know what might have transpired somewhere or what might have transpired thereafter. But as the meeting said, duly constituted, there was no interdict at that stage, if ever there was any.
Now, I'm looking at this letter, and it's dated the 14th, and it speaks according to Rule 6, subsection 2. And the ANC says not only did the High Court say unambiguously that the court papers could be served via text and WhatsApp, and they are indeed convinced that they were released. The speaker, the regional secretary of the ANC, has even opened the case against the speaker and the 7 ANC members at Badweg police station. Do you think that you can stand up to this legal order and remain mayor?
Tsepiso, according to my knowledge at this stage, I don't know the facts that you are alluding to. And as a result, and one of the questions that we might possibly just ask ourselves, if there were councillors that were supposed to be interdicted not to attend the meeting, what happened to the rest of the other 43 councillors of the ANC who were supposed to have been in attendance, if that was the argument? They did not attend that meeting. So I don't know whether they were prevented by any court of order or they elected not to attend as requested per a duly given notice in terms of the standing orders and rules. And for me at the moment, it is not about positions, Tsepiso. And our courts, we are a law-abiding country, and I believe in the rule of law. So at the point where the court decide otherwise, we take the meeting that happened on Friday as a duly constituted, legitimate and legal meeting. And our business of continuing to serve the people of Mangaung is what is paramount in our minds. It is not about any other thing. And we will face all of the other issues as and when they come up. And as I said, today we were resolving an issue of the fact that over 15 months, Tsepiso, we have not appointed the city manager of the municipality. We have not appointed HODs, and the coalition that was led by the majority party has not been able to fulfill those legal obligations. And as a result, that is why service has been on the deterioration path.
Okay.
Now, it can't be said that we should be standing aside as citizens, as patriots, when our communities are suffering because of some or other reasons somewhere where people can't get themselves to focus on what the business of council is, and it's to serve our people.
I have no doubt that a lot of citizens who've been without services, and not least of all basic services, would agree that political infighting is really weighing on them. But if lawful decisions are going to be taken henceforth, will it be under the Speaker, the leader of the legislature, if there's going to be appointments or budgets that are approved?
As matters stand now, we have a duly constituted council with a speaker, with an executive mayor and a whip. And we are trying as much as possible to fulfill our legal obligation to pass the IDP and the budget before the end of this month, which we were supposed to have done by the end of March. So we are going to take all lawful decisions until a court of law has determined otherwise.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated. Newly elected Mangaung Mayor Papi Mokoena just speaking to us about the status quo, denying that he is not a legitimate leader and saying that service delivery is foremost at this stage.